Welcome to the Dan Casper Show podcast, your chance to catch the full show anytime, anywhere. If you missed it live on the radio, no worries. We've got you covered with all the sports talk, opinions, interviews, and conversations from the show. From the Packers to the Brewers to the biggest stories in sports and around Wisconsin, it's all right here. This is the Dan Casper Show podcast. Final hour kicking off right now on this opening day Thursday. Thanks for hanging out with us. No matter where you're at or how you are listening to us. If it's on the radio dials, 105.1 FM, 790 AM, also available online, sportstalk1051.com. The video stream also up and rolling here this morning. Continue to send us your predictions, your baseball predictions. World Series. You want to throw in MVPs? Brewers? How many wins? Do they make the postseason? All that good stuff, all right? We want to hear from you. My kid's going to want to know this one. The Brewers walk-up song list. I'm going to have to... last year, part of his ritual of going up to or getting ready for baseball games was looking at who's... walk-up songs or what? Oh, they don't have... Okay, I got to find something else. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I got to find... He's going to want to know what William Contreras is. Yeah, because they don't tell... See, I'm looking at the same thing, and they don't have who's. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I got to figure that out, because he's going to want to know up on here. If you could pick one walk-up song, what would it be for you?
Oh.
Come on, I got to put you on the spot, man.
I don't know. It's a good question.
Oh, so Contreras is... Okay, so Contreras is still not like us, all right. Sal Frelick is still slow down. I only know that because he told me last year, so trying to see. All right. WWE, I came to play for Jacob Mizorowski. Okay, The Miz. Of course, by The Miz, too. So, man, I'll be honest. There's some of these songs I don't even know what the heck they are. Of course, Brandon Woodruff is What Makes You Country by Luke Bryan. And, of course, Bryce Terang is P.O.D. Just, what else, right? What else? So, oh, boy. I wrote the book, Morgan Whalen, Chad Patrick. Oh, yeah. Yeah. The best, though, I think, was Corey Hart back in the day, International Harvester by Craig Morgan. Big old Corey Hart. Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, let's throw it out to the rest of you. If you were a pro baseball player and you had a walk-up song, what would you pick? Have a little fun with this one. I remember one year in a softball tournament, we all did WWE theme songs.
There you go.
And then one year when we were trying to be serious, mine was a little go-getter. But, yeah, no. Let's have a little fun with this one. What would it be? So send them on over. Bloomer Tony says... Good morning. Good luck to Hudson as he goes for the three-peat in the bracket challenge. Pumped up for opening day today. Go Brewers. So, yeah. What's your win prediction there, Bloomer Tony? We've got to hear it. What's how many wins for the Brew Crew, do you think? Continue to send those on over. We got a lot of, I would say, from the texts, average about 88, 89. Somewhere around there. So let's go 88.5, I would say the line is at. Or if we set the line at 88.5, do you think it's over or under? If you want to do it that way. All right. And do you think they make the postseason? But first pitch will be at 1:10 today. Again, you can tune in on the radio dials, 105.1 FM and 790 AM. As always a reminder, it's not available on the stream. It's baseball rules, so you got to listen to it on the radio dials, because if you try to go to our website and you listen to it on the stream, it's not going to be there. It's baseball rules. It's got to be on the radio dials. So, yeah, parking lot's open an hour from now. So I'm sure there's people already waiting in line. I'd be disappointed if there wasn't. But parking lot's open at AmFam Field 1 hour from now. If you haven't left, you better get your butt going. Gates open at 11:10. So I'm kind of curious. I hope this is the other thing, too. Have you heard about the Uke documentary?
Yep.
They're going to get a sneak peek of that. Everybody in attendance is going to get a sneak peek at that. I'm a big documentary guy. I can't wait to watch that.
Yeah.
To see what that's all about.
That'll be cool.
I don't know when it's going to be released or anything like that, but that'll definitely be cool. So, 92 wins. Bloomer Tony, I think you've got, what did you pick, 91?
89.
89. Somebody had 91. That might have been Brandon's mom. So I think 92 is the highest we've gotten. We've had a range of 79 to 92. So that's where the range has been.
79 is crazy.
Maybe a lot of injuries.
Like,
never know.
I would be interested to know why, yeah.
They said just down year for this year, so good. There's a lot of potential, and with potential, there's a lot of uncertainty, right?
Yeah.
Right? So, all right. Yeah, we got more 88s, 89s, that sort of thing. So, I love that you knew it was The Miz. I didn't know it was The Miz Digital. It said The Miz right next to it. So that's, I had no idea. I couldn't tell you. I only know like a few old school WWE themes. That's it. Everybody knows Real American. That's Hulk Hogan. I know HBK, Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. I know that one. Everybody knows the Undertaker theme, right? So these younger people, and I know he's not that young, but I don't know any of that stuff. Were you a WWE guy, wrestling guy? Yeah. Mm-mm. I was maybe for 5 minutes, but that was like Hogan era. So I don't have a problem with it, but just never. I had the Hulk Hogan wrestling thing, but yeah. I digress. We'll move on for a little bit. It's kind of been quiet in the football side of things right now, especially for Green Bay. And I know we got owners meetings that are going to be going on and such. But other than that, for Green Bay, it's been fairly quiet. I know we kind of talked about it a little bit earlier in the week, but a week ago, last Thursday. Yeah, because it was during the Badger basketball game. Matt LaFleur and the Packers dropped their coaching staff, and it kind of gave us a good hint that it looks like they may be moving back to a 3-4 defense, at least, in a base sense, and they'll have mixtures of both in that. So I think that kind of maybe changes how they approach the draft a little bit in terms of priority, because I think they need a nose tackle. I think they need that big guy in the middle. You got Hargrave, you got Wyatt as your other ends on that. They need a big dude in the middle to, remember when you were kind of young yet. Were you born in 2009?
I was born in 2008.
Okay, so you were one, maybe. But that year, they switched to a 3-4 with Dom Capers. And their first pick, they had 2 first-rounders because they traded back into the first round. But the 9th overall pick in that 2009 draft was B.J. Raji.
He was my favorite player.
Was he?
He was,
all
yes.
Right. And then they traded back into the first round for a guy named Clay Matthews. They got their edge rushers already. I really think they need to get that nose tackle. They definitely need another corner on the docket too. But I'd like to see them get a nose tackle, big guy that's kind of just eating up some holes and gaps in there too. So I don't know if that changes it a little bit. I think Green Bay, the fact that they're not going to have a first round pick, I think at that point you probably take what's best available between a corner and a defensive tackle. And I think you can make the case for either or.
This offseason's kind of been like the offseason of unknowns.
Mm-hmm.
Like they still really haven't done a ton.
Right.
They filled some needs. But I'm just like, I think they could do more in the coming weeks, before the draft, after the draft. So it'll be interesting to see, I think, how the draft will kind of decide what they do after.
Mm-hmm.
So if they get a big nose tackle in the second round and he's the best available, they'll take him and maybe they'll go sign a corner for a 1-year deal. Or maybe they sign a corner, or maybe they draft a corner and go sign a D tackle for a 1-year deal. So I think the draft is going to tell us a lot about their plans for free agency.
Mm-hmm. And obviously getting some more depth and such. That's like offensive line or other positions of that too. So, but we are, less than a month from the opening of the draft, believe it or not. I think it's a month from today. Would it be the final day if my math is correct? Maybe a little less. I'm losing track. I just know it's a little like just a few weeks away, which still is kind of nuts. And I don't know if it's because Green Bay doesn't have a first round pick. Maybe, I'm not saying I'm not into it, but it feels like it's kind of quiet.
Yeah.
A little bit. And it could just be there's so much else going on. with opening day, March Madness, we just got done with World Baseball Classic, the Olympics. I mean, it's just been nonstop. NBA season starting to wrap up, NHL season starting to wrap up. So I don't know. I feel like the draft is kind of quiet. Even like pro days, it's been pretty quiet.
I think part of it is there's so much going on. I also think part of it is more than likely, Raiders are drafting Mendoza. Mm-hmm. There's not a lot of
intrigue.
Intrigue. So it's all, as we say, chalk for the tournament. It's pretty much all chalk for the draft.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think we're debating who's going to go first overall. This year we just know, and the biggest debate is Ty Simpson. So
yeah, and then you look at the Jets there. I don't know if they're in like a selling. They need a lot of work, but they also have multiple first-round picks. I mean, if they're not sold on Simpson, if Simpson is a number 2 pick, or if there's somebody else, could they? What if there's a team, let's say like the Cardinals, for instance, who don't really have a quarterback, but they really like Simpson? Could they get a little antsy and maybe try to move up one spot? We've seen teams do that before. I don't know if that would be worth it. I don't know. I'm looking at some of these teams. Where's that trade up potential for a team? Where's that team that could, maybe move back and collect a couple more picks? You got the Raiders at 1. You got the Jets at 2. The Cardinals at 3. The Titans at 4 that did a lot of work this offseason. Giants 5. Cleveland 6. Washington 7. Saints 8. Chiefs 9. That's kind of dangerous. And then Cincinnati at 10.
I think this year it's going to be a lot of prepare for next year. Because next year's quarterback draft is stacked compared to this year. And so I don't see the Jets taking quarterback unless Simpson's there in the second round. Mm-hmm. I don't see him taking one in the first round. Even the Cardinals, I don't necessarily see them taking quarterback in the first round. That's why I don't have Simpson going in the first round, because if I'm the Jets, I'm going to tank this year and see if I can go get Arch Manning because he's got a better upside than Ty Simpson. So with the next year's draft on the horizon, you're kind of looking at adding pieces to a roster that aren't integral like the quarterback.
The Ty Simpson to me is going to be an interesting one to see where he goes because part of it's like, okay, could he be the Andy Dalton where he was like a second-round pick? Andy Dalton, and he had a solid career with Cincinnati. But then you factor in, do you trade, let's say, with Seattle, who has the final pick? Move up, like if you're the Jets or the Cardinals, 33, 34, you trade to that 32 pick because then you get a 5th-year option.
I could see that happening. Just why not?
Because then you get added extra security just in case.
Yeah.
That's what, the Ravens did with Lamar Jackson. They moved up and got the last pick and drafted Lamar with the final pick in the first round. That kind of worked out, for them. So that could be a possibility, I think. So I don't like seeing that Kansas City has 2 first-round picks. They've
got a lot of holes to fill.
They do, especially a corner now since they got rid of all of those guys, and they do need to get younger in certain spots too. So, but yeah, otherwise I feel maybe after opening day, maybe once the calendar turns to April, and maybe after March Madness, then I think I'll probably get into draft mode a little bit more. I think that's when it's going to really kick in for me. Mike in Medford says that 90 wins for the Brew Crew. So, all right, keep sending those picks on over. We got to take a quick break, but we'll have plenty more to get to coming up after these quick words. We come back with some breaking news for the Milwaukee Brewers. The Brewers just posted that Jackson Chourio is on the injured list. He will be out 2 to 4 weeks with a fractured hand. So that just popped up a couple of minutes ago. So Blake Perkins recalled from AAA to fill in that spot. So that's a bummer on this opening day. Hopefully it's on the shorter end of that, but he apparently suffered the fracture when he was hit by a pitch in the World Baseball Classic.
Played through it, yeah.
Yeah. Remember when he got remember that when he got hit in the hand and such? Back on March 4th. So, all right. Well,
Why was he playing in spring training games then?
Well, that's the thing is, like, it's not only like when he got back, he was still playing.
Yeah.
So was it just something that wasn't going away? Then they decided to, like, X-ray it or something? I mean, what's going on here? I got to know that what is going on here.
He hit a home run 2 days ago.
Man.
Well, Jake Bauers is going to get his at-bats.
Yeah, he is. He is. But, boy, that takes a little win out of. Now, I get it. It's only 2 to 4 weeks, but still, the excitement and such. I blame you. You were in a Chourio jersey. Yeah. Way to go.
So does Sal Frelick get leadoff then?
Sal Frelick better be the leadoff hitter.
He better be.
He 100% better be the leadoff hitter. It's Sal. Oh, but you don't go lefty-lefty, though, do you? I don't think you go lefty-lefty.
So maybe
Contreras?
Or Yelich at the 2?
Yelich is a lefty, too.
Oh, he is a lefty. You're right.
So Sal, Contreras,
Vaughn?
Yelich.
Move Vaughn up? Not to 2, but you can move on up to like 4.
Then Terang's at the 5. But then you got Terang trying to chase Vaughn around with speed, and that's like, no thank you.
We have a lot of lefties in this.
We do. Yeah, it says, Sophia Minert just said a recent MRI revealed a small hairline fracture. So, all right. Well, that's a bummer. That's a big-time little bummer on that. Oh, man. I'm speechless now.
Joey Ortiz at leadoff.
No. But, all right. So, passing that along. Yeah, now I'm really curious to see what that lineup's like.
Yeah.
Because you take... Well, Garrett Mitchell's going to be in the starting lineup now. So, he's going to be center.
But he's a lefty, too.
That's right.
Isn't Jake Bauers a lefty?
Jake Bauers is the lefty.
So your whole outfield is lefties, including Yelich.
Yeah. Unless they start Blake Perkins, but I can't see them. Or do they start Lockridge?
I think Mitchell gets the start now. So how many right-handed batters do we have? Contreras, Terang's a lefty. Contreras, Ortiz, and Vaughn. That's it.
And is it Renfro's a switchy, is it? Switch hitter?
Rengifo? Yeah, he may be.
Yeah. Man, that's a bummer. That's a bummer. Yeah, you're right, though. Very lefty-heavy.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't overthink. But a lot of teams, they like to go that left-righty, alternate them a little bit, but who knows?
I think they're facing a righty, so it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
It wouldn't be. Yeah, so that maybe kind of alleviates that a little bit. Man. All right, so again, if you're just joining in, the Brewers, I was trying to post it up on Facebook while doing a little talking at the same time. Chourio out 2 to 4 weeks with a small hairline fracture in his hand, an injury that he suffered at the beginning of March. Brewers have placed him on the 10-day injured list, retroactive to yesterday. So, but they're saying could be 2 to 4 weeks, it looks like, from some of the reporters and such. But, again, you hope. And the fact that he played on it for those couple weeks makes you wonder if it is going to be on the shorter side of things. But I could definitely see, and this, if we get to Dr. Crow tomorrow for our Inside the Training Room, kind of get his thoughts on that. Like, is this normal maybe to have missed it? Or, the fact that it's an MRI maybe makes me wonder that it didn't show up on an X-ray, but there was still something there. So maybe it was that small. I don't know. I'm just purely speculating now. So.
I understand him playing through the World Baseball Classic, but he should have been sat down in spring training. Because when did they come back? Last week?
Yeah.
So you get a week ahead, and now he's only missing 2 weeks of the regular season instead of 4.
Mm-hmm.
So it must have been like he was feeling
something must just not have been.
Yeah.
It must not have been improving. Must not have been getting better or anything like that. But so it is on his left hand, which makes it okay. Yeah, okay. So all right. Well, there you have it. So probably. Well, here you go, Mitchell. Let's step up to the plate,
right
pun
away.
intended, and let's get some offense going here, man.
It may be better that we have to rely on him early in the season because he's actually healthy.
That's true. But can he produce?
True. That's also true.
Man. Yeah, well, here's the thing. They got options. I'm not worried about defense or guys because you could put Freelick in different spots, and obviously they're bringing up Perkins, and they already got Lockridge, so they got coverage. Do you put – it's just – I'm just more curious now how that lineup because, they're just loaded up with lefties.
Yeah, they're going to have to lefties back-to-back multiple times.
Going to have to be. I think, if we take away that, that you go Freelick, you go Terang, you go Yelly, or you go Contreras, and you go Yelly. And then you go like a Vaughn or a Bowers after that. That's if I had the book and I'm filling out the lineup, that's how I would go. Especially, since if they're going up against a righty, you do that. Load it up. Especially on day one. Let's get Salvatore up there and get some table setters up there right away and get this thing rocking and rolling. So but that's still weird. A hit by pitch that was 3 weeks ago still played, and there's got to be some frustration amongst the Brewers, I would imagine.
Yeah, I wonder if
did he not say anything? I wonder if he
got it MRI'd, knew it was, but just played through it, and then I don't know. Again, he couldn't have told somebody. Because they wouldn't have been playing him in spring training.
Right. There's no way. Or if it was more serious. Okay, so this is good. Now I'm just going to speculate more. Because I remember when he got hit by the hand, and then there was the report that the Brewers were in contact with Venezuela doctors and going over everything. Part of me, and this may not be fair, but part of me is wondering how truthful was Chourio in detailing it. Because, again, going back to last year, he pushed it, right? When he had a hamstring issue, he still played. When he was – remember that one where he was just, like, literally limping off, and then he still played, like, the next day and such? And, he's young, and everybody – it, but when we're young, we try to push through. It's pure speculation, but was Chourio 100% truthful on everything, too? And just, no, I want to play. And I get it, World Baseball Classic. We know how much that meant to a lot of those guys and wanting to be there and such. So maybe it just got to a point where they noticed something or he finally said something. Was it getting worse? Which is the worst thing that could possibly happen if it was getting worse. Or maybe was it a customary, final checkup? I don't know.
It's got to be pretty small, though.
For it to show up on an MRI.
In only 2 to 4 weeks. Plus, he uses his left hand to catch a baseball, and those fly balls don't feel good if your hand is broken. So, either he was medicated pretty good, or it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's going to hurt our lineup.
It is. All right. Well, let's regroup. I didn't expect to be talking about that for a little bit here, but here we are. So we'll take a quick break and be back with plenty more coming up after these quick words. Looking for affordable, reliable auto parts? Start with the experts who know vehicles inside and out. At ASAP Used Auto Parts and Conrad's Auto Salvage, you'll find quality, recycled parts that keep your vehicle running without breaking the bank. Engines, transmissions, body parts, hard to find components. If you need it, chances are they've got it. Their knowledgeable team helps you find the right part fast, saving you time and money. Whether you are a do-it-yourselfer or a repair shop, or you're just trying to extend the life of your ride, trust the local pros. ASAP Used Auto Parts and Conrad's Auto Salvage. From salvage to service, one name that you can trust. Again, if you're just tuning in and you missed it, Jackson Chourio will not be playing today. He will not be playing for the next couple of weeks, placed on the injured list just a little bit ago due to a hand fracture that he suffered at the beginning of March in the World Baseball Classic. Blake Perkins recalled from AAA in Nashville. So I am curious how that affects Blake Perkins. I thought he only had one more option. I don't know if that affects it. No, I don't. I'd have to double check that because that would be a stinker, But we'll see how it plays out, right? I mean, if anything, maybe, Chourio kind of started off slow last year, so maybe not. I don't know.
If this was an infielder, do you think Jet Williams?
Jet Williams, I think, would be up. I think it would be Jet Williams. Don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. But the other part is, too, Jet Williams does have experience playing outfield. Because he is listed as like second base, shortstop / outfield. So, yeah. The only thing is, like, if you call up a guy like Jet Williams, you got to play him.
Yeah.
Blake Perkins, you don't necessarily have to play him. So, but if you bring up Jet Williams, then he's got to be in your starting lineup, and you got to give him ABs and get that experience. So, but we'll see how it kind of plays out here for the day. But final call on any predictions, picks, how many wins for the Brewers this season. If we set the line at, let's say, 87.5, 88.5, over under that, I'd say let's put it at 88.5 because I think that's where the average has been with a lot of our picks, because we got a few more that says 88, 91, 90, 89, 88, 90. So it's kind of all over there. And I'm probably, I think I'm at 87. I don't know why. It's just 87 is in my head. It's that number. And that's the thing, too, is like, kind of like what Hunter was saying in a 7 o'clock hour. This is a team that won 97 games last year. If they go 7 fewer, that's still 90, So, I mean, let's ask the question then. If we use last year, 97 wins, is this team 7? And I know it's not really fair, but just for argument's sake, is this team 7 losses worse than what you know what I'm trying to say than last year?
Yeah.
And there's more that goes into it. It's baseball. You can't really hardly predict it and such. But I don't know. Like, I look at it, I agree with you. The pitching wise, I like it better than last year. Now, granted, last year they opened up the season and it wasn't great with all the injuries and such, because it was, this year I get it. They're younger, a little bit more unproven, but they're healthier, with even if you factor in Quinn Priester being banged up. The one guy that we're really not talking about either that's starting the beginning on the injured list, and he's going to be a part of this bullpen for the future, is Craig Yoho, who's a really talented relief pitcher too, but he's on the injured list. So I like their pitching. I think that's kind of an underrated aspect to this year. That's
an interesting question, because if we, personally, if I really think that this roster is better than last year's, they should be hovering around that 90, 92 win mark, just because they shouldn't have that much regression. Obviously, like you said, it's baseball. 5 games are going to be won or lost by a coin flip. So, but yeah, that's an interesting point.
Because am I going to pick that the Brewers are going to sweep the Dodgers again this year in the regular season? No, probably not, unless something catastrophic happens or something big, kind of happens in that essence. So, I mean, you're talking about a difference between, one series? 2 series with that? So, do you think on paper this team's better than last year?
Oh, man. See, they didn't really lose anything besides Peralta. So they lost Isaac Collins. They lost Freddie Peralta.
Caleb Durbin.
Caleb Durbin was better in the postseason. That's when he really turned it on. Isaac Collins had a stretch, about a 2-month stretch, where he was one of the best hitters on the Brewers. And then obviously Freddie Peralta. But I think the pitching staff is better. I will say that. Even without Freddie Peralta, I do think the pitching staff is better. And I think the production is replaceable. I don't think we necessarily lost anything losing those 2 players. And so I would probably have to say on paper, I think this team's better than last year just because of their rotation.
Yeah, I think, the Caleb Durbin one, I think, caught a lot of people by surprise, a younger guy and such. But when you look at the production and compare it to what they've got, is it a big loss just from a production standpoint? Probably not. And I honestly feel like the Brewers maybe felt like they And I think this was the case with Isaac Collins, too, which is, I mean, when you look at Isaac Collins and you look at Caleb Durbin, it is probably rare for a team like the Brewers to trade off a couple of younger guys like that. But I think they feel like that's the max that those guys have. Like, they're going to cash in when they're high, right? They're going to cash in that, especially specifically maybe more so for Isaac Collins for the year that he had. I think they maybe went with the mindset, hey, we're going to cash in because we don't think he can maybe put those numbers together again. Caleb Durbin, I mean, maybe that's what they feel like, okay, that's going to be kind of what he is, a 250, 260 hitter. He's not going to give you a lot of power. Can get you a little speed and some, on the base or some base hits and such. But I think they just really went into this offseason wanting to build up that pitching staff, build up those pitchers. Because part of that Isaac Collins trade and the Nick Mears one was Zerpa. Caleb Durbin, it was Harrison, right? I mean, I feel like that was their mindset this year. And they probably, honestly, I don't think they probably figured that Fisher was going to do what he did at the World Baseball Classic. But when you really look at it from an infield standpoint, Jet Williams, Cooper Pratt, Jesus Mate, all those guys, they've got options that Brock Wilken, they probably feel like, we can afford to do this. Let's build up our pitching staff because we know we've got the depth from younger guys. Yeah,
and I was about to say that I thought his production was replaceable, but apparently Hamilton hit under 200 and Rengifo wasn't great either. But again, I really do think his production is replaceable because maybe Garrett Mitchell has a better year.
Maybe it's replaced by Joey Ortiz.
Yeah, maybe if Joey Ortiz hits 250, that replaces Caleb Durbin because Joey Ortiz hit, I think, 211 last year.
Yeah.
So you're like you said, they're kind of cashing in at a good time because I loved Kyle Harrison. I loved that trade. I didn't necessarily like getting rid of Durbin, but I think Kyle Harrison's going to be a mainstay in this roster. And so cashing in on that almost development is key, especially when you're a small market team like the Brewers. And I don't see them losing a lot of production from the players they lost. If they struggle to score runs, it's because some of their team just regressed. It's not because we lost players.
Yeah. No, I agree. All right. Let's take our final break, and then we're going to make some picks. We've got a lot of baseball games to be picking, so we'll do that. Final break, and then we'll wrap up shop after these quick words. Wrapping it up here this morning with about 10 minutes left to go here, so let's get right to our picks because, well, we've got a lot of them to get to. We'll start off in the NBA world just because we only got a couple games there. The Knicks taking on the Charlotte Hornets.
I'll go Knicks.
Oh, Hornets in this one. We'll go Pelicans and Pistons. Pistons. Sacramento and Orlando.
Magic.
Yeah, I'll go Orlando too. So let's do, first of all, college hockey. The Badgers win today against Dartmouth.
We'll go yes. Why not?
Yeah, I'll go Badgers too. So let's do Sweet 16 picks. Texas, Purdue. Iowa, Nebraska. They're only favored by 1.5 in this game too. Yeah. Arkansas, Arizona. Illinois, Houston. I'm going Illinois because I got to keep it up with my upsets. So, how about, ready for our baseball picks now? Here we go. Pittsburgh and the Mets. Paul Skeens versus Freddie Peralta.
Give me the Pirates.
Ooh, yeah, I'll go Pirates too. Why not? Paul Skeens gets them off on the right note here. I'll save the Brewers one till last. Cubs open up at home against the Nationals.
Cubs.
Minnesota on the road taking on Baltimore.
Orioles.
I'll go Baltimore. Boston, Cincinnati.
Houston. Oh, sorry. Baltimore, Cincinnati. Boston.
I'll go Boston. And then Angels in Houston. I'll go Houston. Detroit and the Padres.
Detroit
with Tariq on the line, yeah. Texas and Philly.
Philly.
I'll go Philly. Tampa, St. Louis.
The Rays.
Yeah, I'm going to go Rays. And then Diamondbacks, Dodgers. Cleveland, Seattle. I'll go Seattle. And then finally, we've got the White Sox and the Brew Crew.
Brewers.
I'm going to go Brewers, too. Brewers win it today. So, anybody hit a home run for the Brewers today? You want to make a prediction there?
Why not? Jake Bauers.
Wouldn't that be something? It'd be kind of like the Vinny Capra from last year.
Yeah.
He was hot, and then he hits a home run, in his first at-bat, too. So, all right, so Jackson Chourio looks like he's in the locker room talking a little bit here. This is from Adam McCulvey. Jackson Chourio's injury stems from a hit by pitch while tuning up for the World Baseball Classic. He felt better, then felt pain on a check swing against the Reds in Milwaukee and had an MRI that revealed a small fracture at the base of his left middle finger. So I can't show you that finger, but we could kind of the base of the middle left finger there. So, okay. All right. So that's I guess, where it's at.
So is that a fractured finger or fractured hand?
I'll ask the doctor tomorrow.
Yeah.
I would say base, maybe right here. So maybe the hand?
Maybe a hand then.
Yeah. Because it's got to be below the knuckle, I would think then, right?
True.
Or maybe this is considered, it's got to be there.
I don't know what the base is.
Well, if he's holding the bat, and he probably gets hit right there, right?
Yeah, so right there.
It's got to be right there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Whereas we're trying to figure this thing out. Man. Yeah. Okay, so if he felt better, but still.
Still, he should have got it looked at when he got hit by the pitch.
Yeah.
So.
Did you see this, to switch gears here, that Brady apparently inquired about coming back?
Oh, really?
So apparently he told, was it CNBC, that I have actually inquired. I actually have inquired, and they don't like the idea very much talking about the NFL. We explored a lot of different things, and I'm very happily retired. I think it was probably because coming back, he'd probably want to do the Jordan, come back for the Raiders. But Jordan had to give up ownership stake when he did it with the Wizards. So, thank you, NFL, if you said no.
Stay retired.
Yeah.
Although he looks like he'd still play. But
you know what, though? I will say, I know we talked about it last week. Team USA, it was my confession. They wiped the floor with them.
Yeah, they're good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think they deserve to represent right now in the Olympics. Why not? They've been clamoring for it. They've been saying they deserve it, and they balled out.
Yeah.
They made some pros look ridiculous.
It wasn't even close.
Mm-mm. So, well done for them. But still, 48 years old. Yeah, he keeps in shape. There's no question. I think he'd have to. He's calling games for $300 million. Okay,
yeah,
you're pretty cushy. You're opening up a bunch of card shops. Yeah, you're part owner of the Raiders. You're fine. You're good. Okay, you're good, man. You don't need to go out there. I don't want to be the person to tell somebody to stop playing a game that they love, but you're good right now, dude. Just go away. Right? Just tired of Brady. Enough's enough with Tom Brady. For crying out loud. I hope the Raiders never win a Super Bowl with Tom Brady as owner. I couldn't do it.
Well, their coach didn't work out, so.
No, I do like their coach hiring. I like Kubiak coming over there. I think that's yeah. Anyways, I think they'll be better, though, because they
spent money.
And then they inadvertently get Max Crosby back, too. So it works out for them.
Yes.
Weird how that always happens. So just some final text here. 88, 90, 92, 91, 93. I think that's the highest we've gotten is 93. So, and then another 87 and 88. Oh, okay. Just came out. Jake Bauers is starting in left field, according to Adam McCulvey. I don't see the whole lineup yet, but he just tweeted that Jake Bauers is starting in left field in place of Jackson Chourio today. So I wonder if we're going to get that lineup card maybe any minute now before the start here. So if it does happen in the next couple minutes, we'll tell you. But okay, so Jake Bauers, we know. So then center field is probably Garrett Mitchell.
Probably.
And then Sal. That's all lefties. Yelich is going to be DH. There's another lefty. Terang's a lefty. That's 5. Who am I missing in this thing? Ortiz is going to be at short.
Well, likely Rengifo is going to hit lefty.
And then
facing a righty.
And then Vaughn is a righty, so he'll be in the light up there too. And then Contreras. So, all right. We'll see how it plays out. So, opportunity for Bowers.
Good.
To run out there. And, this was just a few minutes ago. This was a clip from MLB Network where Pat Murphy talked with the MLB Network about Jackson Chourio's hand injury. Let's play this clip here really quick. Audio courtesy from MLB Network.
You're sorry to hear the news to open the season. What's your reaction to Jackson's news and the injury and with the plan moving forward?
Yeah, I hurt for Jackson. He was looking forward to this opening day. He loved the WBC, obviously, but he had some pain when he would check swing and even throughout his work. So we got it looked at a little deeper with an MRI, and the MRI revealed that fracture. He's going to be out a while. It's actually begun to heal, so we're just worried that there could be further injury if he doesn't take care of it now.
Do you anticipate maybe Christian Yelich playing a little bit more outfield as a result?
I think he wants to play the outfield, and I think he will.
All right. Well, that's an interesting little nugget. Doesn't sound like it's going to be today with Bowers out there, but maybe when it's maybe we will see Yelich play a little bit more in the outfield. I think they want to be cautious with that, though, too.
Yeah, just don't get hurt.
Yeah, right? Especially when it comes to the back issue and such. So, all right. I only got a minute left until the shot clock cuts us off. So, everybody enjoy opening day. We got 162 of these things to go. So, we're either going to we're never going to win a game when we're back tomorrow morning, or we're going to go undefeated at 162-0.
Let's just not Yankees this series.
It worked out last year.
It did.
Right?
It did.
So, but here we go. We got 162 of these things. Let's not overreact too much. If that was one thing that taught us last year with the Yankee series, torpedo bats and all that stuff, that went away after that.
Yeah.
So, but enjoy it, and happy opening day for everybody out there. When was the last time we heard about a torpedo bat anyways? I can't even remember.
Last year for a series, probably.
So that's honestly, that's the last. So, but enjoy it. We'll talk about it tomorrow and such, and talk about Sweet 16 and who's going to the Elite Eight and the final Sweet 16. So enjoy opening day, intern. Enjoy the game. And for the rest of you, you have a good rest of your day.